My software colleagues at Navico suggested I needed to do something a little bit more clickbaity, so I'm going to do both an unboxing and a clarinetist reacts video all in one. I have here one of the Légère plastic synthetic reeds, however you want to describe it, European Cut, size 3.5, and I figured if it's good enough for Eddie Daniels, it could be good enough for me, and I hold Eddie Daniels in high regard, so here we go, we're going to give this a shot. Unboxing. Now obviously you got to wrap this sucker up real hard out because of course that equals premiere, if I can even get into it. Oh, I should have come prepared with some cutting utensils. Oh, goodbye box. So we have, oh yep, so premiere means of course a lot of plastic. I guess they given us this very intense, immense case. But really, here's the good stuff. We want this tiny little plastic reed. So I use a Van Doren V12 currently, and the story goes that I've used them for as long as I can remember. There was a time when I was playing around with a whole lot of reeds, but I think I've settled on these Van Doren V12, size 3.5 for, I don't know, since the 90s. That sounds okay, right? So that's kind of some jazzy sound. Yeah, it's a little classical in the lower registers. But, you know, what can it sound like if it's a piece of plastic? So, here we go. The first ever attempt. I'm kind of boggled, but my mind's intrigued by this completely different cut. Well, it does say B flat clarinet, so we'll see how we go. Maybe I just bought the wrong one. Maybe it's not even going to fit to my mouthpiece because it's got the wrong cut. But here we go. Supposedly it should fit to a Van Doren mouthpiece. See if I've just embarrassed myself by buying the completely the wrong size for this mouthpiece. But, you know, joke's on me at that point. Well, that's interesting. First of all, I'm obviously feeling like I've got a piece of plastic stuck in my mouth. But the response is actually strangely quite similar intensity to... Okay, now, so have you ever gone to a doctor and they ask you, describe the pain that you're feeling? Now, it's terrible to bring up pain in the context of clarinet playing, but how do you even define that? So here I'm about to try and define what does this reed feel like to this clarinet. Everyone has this different idea of describing. However, I got to tell you that strength. I was a bit worried about strength. So if you take their size chart on their website, they said that if you're using a Van Doren V12, you might want to get a Légère 3.25. They didn't have one of those in stock. I just thought, okay, well, on the safe side, we'll go higher. So I got 3.5. Thank you, KBB, the last one in stock at Albany. And it sounds roughly the same in terms of like the effort required to blow it. So it sounds okay. I guess it's kind of one of those ones you want to get used to. I guess I'll be able to play some high notes. So I've got a spore here. Let's just go straight to the hard part and see what happens. Okay, so it's not as, I'm going to say, dark. It's got a little bit of like a buzzy brightness to it. So it's getting a little bit, I don't know if you can hear it kind of getting away from me. I probably clipped out the microphone blasting at the note because I'm used to a little bit more resistance and it's just kind of wanting to blast out of there. But there's nothing wrong with the fact that this thing's ability to want to come out. So you know when sometimes you get those reeds and they're so hard you just got a lot of air going before it sounds? It's not that. Okay, it's one of those ones where you put a little bit of air and it just wants to work. But it's a little bit on the buzzier side. I'm hearing scratching. I think the cat wants out. Alright, that's taken care of. It's the neighbour's cat, just visits and then leaves, and what can you do? I feel like it's almost like I'm kind of like driving like a Japanese sports bike. It's real twitchy. It just wants to go for it. I kind of used to a little bit more resistance. Okay, so put it this way. The whole reason why I went on to this silly adventure is because I had a box of Van Doren V12s. This was my last lot of a box. I had 3 boxes, purchased in the States when the dollar was really good. Dad brought them back. And I've finally gone through the last box. I had a bunch of reeds that I was rotating through. So I'd probably rotate through maybe 3 or 4 kind of good reeds. I'd probably play them for like a year or something. And eventually it's like, okay, I better retire these. They're pretty old. They sound pretty nice still, but I better make sure I got some coming along. And I went through this box, and I kid you not, of the 5 that were left, maybe 1 was pretty good. 1 was like, yeah, probably could be okay, and the other 3 were rubbish. Okay, just absolute, like, what are you gonna do? So I kid you not, it's $70. I got it down to $70. This is a bit of a brave move to buy one of these synthetic reeds, because a single like Van Doren V12 might be roughly $7, so you're paying 10 times as much. So for them to say that this is only going to last 2 to 6 months, goodness gracious, it better last me longer than that. I mean, come on, it's plastic. Should it last forever? But it actually sounds pretty good. I could practice with this. I'm leaning to the idea that maybe Eddie Brent Daniels is right. Maybe a 3.75 was a good idea. This is probably just could do with a little bit more resistance. So just for record, probably the hardest, like on average, like despite, like, let's just put it, their chart is wrong. Okay, V12s in my experience are a little bit harder on average than what I'm playing here. So if you're on a 3.5 Van Doren V12, you're probably looking at least 3.5 of this Légère, probably to 3.75. But this is the European cut. What do I know about the other ones? Okay, because I haven't got multiples of 70 New Zealand dollars floating around to blow on these things. But here we go. There's a good little practice read. Okay, Louis Spohr, if you do this, you got to be good at your B flat major scale and G minor. You guys don't need to hear me practice. Okay, I think in summary, it's quite a bright read. It's got good enough resistance, but maybe if you want to get the European cut, you probably have to go onto the harder side. So if you're at 3.5 V12, you probably want to go to like 3.75. I have no idea what the other cuts are like. Apparently there's a darker version, but I don't know. This was all the KBB had, and I wanted to give it a shot, and here we go. I was at that time, and there we go, a piece of plastic. It's clear. It's looking kind of gross and transparent at this point. I have to put the camera on that. And yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Maybe I've just learned something about clarinet. Maybe European cut is just kind of like how much reed is exposed and how much filing they're done. Or there we go. Just proves it. There's always something to learn about clarinet.